Okay, well now it's time to start actually constructing the body of our plushie. At this point we've got all the different pieces cut out and we can start actual assembly. And in order to do anything in this sort of sewing realm, you want to make it inside out and then turn it right side in so that everything comes out nice and clean and all the mistakes in sewing are on the inside and you never see them. So to that end, basically everything has to be set up so that all your good sides are always facing each other. That way when you turn it right side in, you're not going to have one segment that's the wrong orientation. It has a bit of a different texture to it and it'll look bad. So basically whenever you're unsure about where anything goes, I mean right here this is some fairly easy pieces, but later on when you get into things like ears and horns, inside out is a little difficult to understand. So I'm just going to use these easy pieces to give you an idea about how things go. And I remember the first time we took apart the plushie that we used to make our pattern, putting it back together, we had a really difficult time because this bottom piece is kind of ambiguous. Actually earlier on it was just this short, so both the ends look very similar. One just had a pointy tip and one was kind of flat. So we didn't really know which way was forward, but now we added some length to the neck here to give it a bit of a different shape, and we just learned after making so many that the flat end is the front and the pointy end is the back. And then so we have, here's the back foot and here's the front foot, or front leg and back leg. And basically we're going to be attaching it, and this will be the underside of the pony. And positioning these is kind of tricky too. So the back foot is by the back, they're all right side up, so we're going to put good to good, and that would basically be oriented like this. So you have bad side on the top, bad side on the bottom, and the two good sides meet in the middle, so that's right. And then same thing with the front leg, you're going to take it so that the good sides face each other and basically just go like that. Now again we've got bad side on top, bad side on the bottom, and in the middle the two good sides meet. And from here, once you've got it in the right orientation, you basically take pins and pin them together, and you just stick pins in every so often, like every, I don't know, half an inch or so. These usually takes about 5 on each leg, and then that is what holds the fabric in place while you sew it together. And then this is also where your 3/8 seam allowance is going to come in. So when you take and do your sewing machine over them, it's going to sew 3/8 in from this edge, and then that's why you lose that extra 3/8 inches. So when you turn it inside out, you'll have those 3/8 inside, and you'll lose that on the inside, and you'll have the nice clean seam on the outside when you turn it inside out. So from here, basically, like I said, you just pin these two together and sew it, and then you'd repeat on the other side, and then you'll have your whole bottom of your body done, and then comes the side parts with the cutie marks. So I'll go ahead and pin these together and sew them up, and then once we get to the next part I'll show you that. So here we have the second set of legs pinned onto the body. This just shows you what basically you look for here. It's just a few pins every so often to keep your edges nice and straight together for when you're sewing. And if you ever have a problem, then your pins are kind of like anchor points that you can always go back to. And you just sew along the line and take them out as you go. And here on the other side is an example of what it looks like after it's done being sewn. You see the line here, and then this little edge here is your 3/8 seam allowance. And then so basically wherever you see these lines is your bad side, your eventual inside of the plushie. But then when you fold it inside out, what you'll be seeing is this edge, which gives you a nice just clean seam. Can't see any stitching, like you expect on just about any other stuffed animal type toy. So just keep plugging and chugging on that. Sew some more, and then we'll add the side body. And to take a look at the hair, here's how I've got the tail coming along so far. These are basically just both sides of the tail, and now all these individual parts were sewn together, same thing, good side to good side, and you just can see like here along where I sewed it. And so you just sew the bottom two parts together, the top two parts together, and then you sew them together at the middle. Now you got a whole side. And then the same thing over here. So each of these has 1, 2, 3 things of sewing on them, so that's 6 there, and then now you got to do one final piece to put them both together. Follow the same principles. Both of these have the good side facing up, and you just would simply place them on top like that. You got to pin around all the edges, and then you'll have your finished tail. And you just leave this part here open where you'd attach it to the body so you can turn it inside out and stuff it and all those good things. Oh, and also, full disclosure on this thing, I accidentally put the wrong side facing the body on this back leg, so I had to take it apart and redo it. I thought I had my right side facing up, but actually I got mixed up somewhere along the line. So basically, we have a little tool here. This is called a seam ripper, and you basically just kind of dig it between here, and you pop open all the different things of string. Do that for a while, loosens it up, then you eventually free it from the thing, take it off, and put the right piece in. And so even I make mistakes, but you come prepared. You have all the tools you need, and you can handle anything that comes up. So I'll keep working on this. I'll bring you some updates every so often as we're going along. I don't want to just show you this simple part and then have the whole body done, so I'll give you some little pieces as we go. The body's pretty simple, and I'll be able to get that done today, but things like the head is a lot more complicated and delicate, and I don't know how soon I'll be trying that, but we'll see. Well, we'll check in with this as it progresses.